Hello and welcome to the first video on this channel. Today's video is going to be me starting the My Team career mode, and I thought instead of bringing my own team onto the grid, I'd bring an old team back to the sport. So I decided that Lotus should come back with its great history in the sport. I've stuck with the gold and black colour, but gone for a more modern looking car. I personally think the car looks very good, but may make some changes in the future and have some special liveries for certain races. So heading into qualifying for Bahrain then, hoping to get a nice result for the team. We have Jack Aitken as our teammate at Lotus, which makes our team all British. We have Echo as the primary sponsor, and our car is around 7th to 8th best on the grid. So we'll be looking to challenge Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri possibly. Not looking to get points yet, but looking to get some nice results in the low teens really. So Bahrain isn't one of my best tracks, but I think I can still do a decent hot lap round for the team. Hoping Jack Aitken can do a good result. I'm hoping he can, give the team some good results for the whole season really. Otherwise, we may have to consider changing him halfway through the season. So far this lap hasn't been too bad. Made a few mistakes, but yeah, I think, we go a bit wide here, but that's fine, not too bad. As you can see in the top left right now, we are around P16, P15 now. Bottas is leading the qualifying. So we're coming up to the last corner here. Take it quite badly, but that's fine, not too bad. Coming up to the final straight, coming up to the line, crossing the line now. And yeah, I thought that wasn't too bad overall. Could have done a bit better, but to make it realistic, I'm not going to redo it. We're going to keep the first track. And as you can see, we do get P13, which isn't too bad for our car right now. I'm fairly happy with that result, I'd say. Now let's go see where Jack Aitken went. Okay, so 17th for Aitken. Not the worst. I was kind of expecting him to get a bit higher, but 17 is still a good start for the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Vettel and Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Carter, Yuki Tsunoda and Raikkonen, Ocon, Aitken, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher, Russell, Mazepin, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Right, so starting from 13th on the grid here, gonna see how many overtakes I can get on the first lap, trying to be as aggressive as possible, going into the first turn, trying to get some overtakes. We're going to go for 6 laps on the soft and 8 on the medium, as that does look like the best strategy time-wise. And yeah, so we're just going to try and go as aggressive on the first lap and see how it goes. Here we go then. Got Alonso to our left, Tsunoda behind, and then we're off and away racing. Here we go. Gasly gets a great start but can't find any positions to overtake, has to back off. Alonso then gets the overtake. Tsunoda comes to our left, we have to brake quite late, nearly going into the back of Leclerc. Going slow around turn 1, Tsunoda on our left. Okay, what can we do? We come to the inside of Tsunoda. Oh, Tsunoda comes, oh, we just nearly hit Tsunoda there. And Aitken's going
There's
slow.
been an
You can see in the
incident on
mini
track resulting in loose debris.
Aitken's going
Fortunately,
slow.
the marshals have managed to
Something's
clear it up in
Aitken.
time, and there are no plans
Anyway,
for a
we're going to have
safety
to
car
focus
right
on our
now.
race and hope that he fixes it. Going to try and stick with Leclerc as fast as possible, but however, he is in a Ferrari. I mean, he has a lot more pace than us. This is kind of not really our comfort spot right now for our car. We shouldn't really be up with these kind of Ferrari and Alpines. Right, let's get a review of what happened with Jack Aitken's start here. Something has obviously gone wrong to cause him to go slow. So he gets an alright start, you know, a bit slow. But then he comes to the braking. Oh, and he brakes way too late and just goes into the back of the Alpine. I mean, what is he thinking? That is really disappointing from Jack Aitken, actually. I mean, you expect better. And for the first race to make such a big mistake. It's a shame. But now it's just us racing for our team. I mean, Jack Aitken will be able to pit, but he'll be quite far behind. He might be able to, you know, get a couple of overtakes done, but it's really disappointing to see that. And we're just trying to keep with the Leclerc here, trying to go as fast as possible, but obviously our car just isn't designed to catch up with these Ferraris. You know, it's like we're gonna start dropping back, and we have Tsunoda behind us, so we could be getting challenged by Tsunoda. I have a feeling this race could be quite defensive overall. You know, we're not going to be as attacking with the car because it's not at the stage where we can be attacking, you know, AlphaTauris and like Ferraris. So we're just going to have to try and sit back and be as defensive as possible, doing the best laps we can to try and keep this position, because P12, I'd be very happy to finish with P12. It's a very strong result. So yeah, Aitken comes in the pits
Jack
then
is coming in
to
for his
fix
stop.
his front wing. So hopefully he can, you know, recover a few places. But it's a real big shame that, you know, he braked too late and went into the back of the Alpine. I mean, it's a bit of a bad mistake to make. But hey ho, we can't focus on it too much. Anyway, just trying to keep with the Leclerc here, just trying to not drop back too much so Tsunoda's actually attacking us, otherwise we will drop back by quite a lot. Just hoping that Leclerc can maybe, you know, start doing a little battle with Alonso, which causes them both to kind of drop back a bit so I can get involved. Otherwise we will be just kind of, you know, being at the back of this train here. You can see this big train starting with the McLaren. And you can see Sainz is actually quite high up in the order, showing that Leclerc isn't really performing well for Ferrari so far. And Gasly's doing very well for AlphaTauri, whereas Tsunoda's not doing as well. But yeah, we're just trying to, you know, keep with this train, this long train of cars. We have Red Bull, Mercedes just going off like real life. And yeah, we're just trying to keep with this train as much as possible. Tsunoda's still keeping with us quite a lot.
DRS is being
Yeah,
enabled
we're
this
just
lap.
trying
We
to-
can use DRS when you are within
Just
1
trying to
second
do
of
the
the
best
car
we
ahead
can
and in
with the
DRS
car we
zone.
have right now. So here we are, skipping to lap 7, going in for our pit stop, soft to medium, good pit stop from the team, and we're off. Still behind Leclerc here, and yeah, so Tsunoda hasn't pitted yet, that's why he's so far ahead. So we've got Latifi still on softs ahead here. Leclerc and me have pitted, so obviously we're a bit faster because we've got newer tyres, and so we're just trying to get past. And I'm going to use Latifi here, and I'm going to go on the outside of Leclerc, outside of Latifi, and so we've used Latifi to actually overtake Leclerc there because he was holding back Leclerc. So it was a very smart overtake. Let's get a review of that. So as you can see right here, look, Leclerc stuck behind Latifi in this corner, so I am able to just go past both of them, and it's a very smooth overtake. I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, now we're ahead of Leclerc because of Latifi. So Latifi's probably going to come into pit at the end of this lap, which will leave Leclerc behind us. So it's going to be tough, you know, to defend against the Ferrari. So yeah, as you can see, Latifi does go into the pits. So now we have Leclerc right behind us, only 2 tenths behind. So it's going to be tough. And as you can see, Sainz and Alonso coming out of the pits. What has happened to Sainz? Sainz was so high up in the order, you know, looking around 5th or 6th place, and he's now back to 12th behind Alonso. And I'm only a few tenths behind Sainz, who was that far up. Something's obviously going on with Sainz there, as he has lost a lot of places. I mean, either the Ferrari have, you know, they've just messed up his pit stop, or he's kind of had a little incident. I don't know, but that's not what you expect, really. And yeah, we have Leclerc really pushing behind us right now, you know, and he's going on the inside. He's going on the inside of the corner. I'm going to try and hold him on the outside. You go a bit too wide, maybe. We've gone too wide, and we've given Leclerc the position there. I could have fought more, and I went too much to the outside. I wasn't thinking there.
Gap behind
Gave him too much space, and he
1.8
just cruised past us. That was my mistake. But, you know, I mean, it was kind of inevitable, realistically. Leclerc was going to overtake us. It's too hard to, you know, kind of defend from a Ferrari for too long. So, yeah. I mean, we'll have DRS here. So, and we're actually catching by quite a lot.
By
Actually, we might actually have an opportunity
seconds.
to... Leclerc moves onto the outside. Leclerc gives us the opportunity to overtake him, realistically, on the outside of that corner. He moved to the right, and he just kind of gave us the space, really. Normally you'd hold your ground and let the person behind you kind of move out, but he's moved out himself. I don't know if he wanted us to have the position, or he's thought that's the better way to go on the inside. But I mean, you know, we're gonna be thankful for it either way. But it's not like we're gonna hold this position for long. I mean, we still have this Ferrari, you know, pushing from the behind. So we're gonna try and hold the position as long as possible, because right now we're in P11. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. So I feel like I'm going to have a lot of, you know, every lap just kind of, he's going to be pushing, you know, especially on these DRS straights where the Ferrari's already got more power. He's going to have DRS, and so he's just going to be pushing. But yeah, so far I think the race has gone fairly well for us, actually. You know, starting P13, now P11. It's not a humongous change, but, you know, it's definitely a positive. We've raced very well, I'd say. We've taken the race quite well, and yeah, I think up to the pit stop it was some nice driving. Now from now to the end, I hope we can do some more solid driving, you know, hopefully keep this position, but, you know, minimum get P12. But yeah, I'd love to get P11. So yeah, as you can see, points are not too far from actually where we are right now. So I'm not going to deny them happening in the future, because there is a chance. So yeah, maybe mid-season possibly, or like late season we start getting a few points. I'd be pretty happy with that. So yeah, we have Alonso ahead of us. I think he has just more pace, so it's not going to be us attacking Alonso at all this race, I think. So it's going to be mainly me defending from Leclerc. So we're going to hope that we can, you know, defend well. I'm going to be, you know, quite aggressive on the defence. You know, pushing him pushing a bit off the track, because otherwise I will just lose the position, right? Especially if it comes to the last lap and he's kind of attacking. I'm gonna try and defend as well as I can, because you know we want this P11. It's a great result for the first race.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
So an incident's happened on track and Tsunoda falls down the order. Let's see what happened here. So Tsunoda comes into the corner and he spins it. That is really bad for Tsunoda, and he can't even re-enter the track because of the cars. He loses so many places from that mistake because he couldn't even re-enter the track once he kind of got back to the right position. That's a big shame for Tsunoda, but it does help out our race a bit, because now we do not have the threat of Tsunoda behind us. Because behind Leclerc was Tsunoda, and so if me and Leclerc went for a bit of a battle, then you know Tsunoda could catch up and possibly even take us as well. So it's a good thing for us. Obviously not very good for Tsunoda. Now with Raikkonen behind us, not as big of a threat, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we're just trying to defend well from Leclerc here. He's been, you know, attacking for these last few laps. Kind of the big threat is when we get onto these, you know, long DRS straights, and he's catching and he kind of, you know, tries to make a move. We're going to try and defend as well as possible, kind of covering him off. Obviously not causing an incident, otherwise that'll ruin both our races. So yeah, I'm still just very shocked about how Sainz is falling back here.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
It's kind of, yeah, it's weird. But obviously we've seen, you know, mistakes from both Aitken and Tsunoda showing to like ruin both their races really. I've so far been doing pretty well, and Leclerc does move over to the outside here. We're gonna have to cover him off. We're gonna have to go on the outside of the corner. We just cover him off there with enough pace around the corner. Leclerc moving to the right and taking the inside of the corner. We're just defending well enough. It's very scary though. We've still like 2.5 laps to go. We're just trying to do the best we can to defend Leclerc. It's these kind of straights here though where he's the biggest threat. These DRS straights where he has a lot more power and the DRS, and we just managed to survive this one. Can we survive, you know, a few more of these DRS straights and be able to bring it home in 11th?
Okay, gap ahead is 1.8
We're gonna have to see. We're just trying to drive our best, get as good exits as we can, because that is quite essential. You know, getting around these corners and then putting the power down as quick as possible to make sure that he doesn't have these opportunities with the DRS. So this straight right here is a big threat. As you can see, Leclerc is catching rapidly, and this one he just doesn't make a move. So yeah, we're just surviving, but then obviously comes the next straight here with more DRS, and I mean it's not as long as a straight, but he's much closer from the first one. We just survived that one as well. And yeah, so we're just gonna, and it's this straight where it's quite a big threat, especially when he's quite close behind. He's gonna move over to the inside of the corner. We give him the space, but like last time, we're not gonna go too far on the outside, and we're gonna hold the position just about, pushing Leclerc to the edge of the track there. That was much better racing from us to be able to keep the position. Let's get a replay of that, because that was some close action right there. As you can see, Leclerc goes to the inside, pushes us to the outside. We hold it well on the outside though, keeping the pace, and we're going to give him enough room. And then here is where we just push him, and Leclerc nearly goes off actually. We did maybe push him a bit too far there, but that's the aggressive defence, you know, we had to do it. And as you can see, Raikkonen is getting a lot closer now because we're fighting. I talked about this earlier. Imagine if that was Sonoda. He's got a slightly faster car,
We have
so
2 laps of fuel remaining.
you know, Raikkonen's not as big as a threat. So coming up to the last lap now, can we survive? Can we survive from the Ferrari that has been attacking us for the last couple of laps? He just tries to make a move but can't. We're going to give him the inside we're going to give him the inside of the corner. We managed to keep it on the outside. However, here he's going to have a much better go, much closer. He moves over to the inside of the corner, and he's gone much deeper, and he's secured the position there. I already knew he'd taken us on the straight even before the corner. He just had the DRS and the pace. That was there's nothing I could do. I tried to go for a crazy move here, quite a risky one, but obviously it's not going to work. I kind of tried to brake as late as possible just to try and, you know, get the place back, but obviously I'm not going to get it. It's fine though. Hey, I need to look at the positive. We're still P12. I mean, Raikkonen's very close, as you can see, and he's behind Tsunoda, so yeah. But yeah, I think we're just going to be able to hold off Raikkonen as he is in a slightly slower car. So yeah, he's not as big threat as the Ferrari. So yeah, we're going to come past the final corners here. I mean, I think it's been a great race. I mean, P12, we've got to be happy with that, really. And yeah, last corner here. As you can see, fireworks coming out for us, of course. Great race, happy with the result, and yeah, great battles with the Ferrari.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
Let's see where Aiken ended up, and yeah, let's see the podium of Lance Stroll's driver of the day.
Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Okay, let's see the results then. Bottas does get first, and as you can see, we're down in P12. Let's see where Aiken ended up. Okay, Aiken did get 21st. Okay, so he did overtake one car. I mean, as expected, you can't expect much when you break your front wing. So, yeah, a shame for Aiken, but hopefully his next race he can revive himself. So, yeah. It was a good race. Thank you guys for watching. That was race 1 of this season, and yeah, expect many more episodes with many more races. And yeah, I will see you guys next video.